Well, let me first welcome you to this interview. It's again an honor and a privilege to receive some talented and amazing people as you. You will be talking to the Moroccan community. They'll be seeing you for some people for the first time of their life, but don't worry, we will show some cosplays, and I think some of them will recognize you in cosplay mode. Um, First of all, I will ask both of you, if possible, can you introduce yourself and share some few words and highlights of your work?
Ladies first.
Yes, let's go.
Thank
Ansel.
you. Hi, I'm Baka Sakura Cosplay. I'm born and bred from Cape Town, South Africa. I've been cosplaying since TVs were only in black and white. And I've just been a part of the community for so long. It's just an incredible thing to see it change so much. So I've been, part of the community when there weren't any competitions, and then I watched it grow into an incredible competitive scene. And therefore I got the privilege to take part in big competitions such as WCS in Japan, the Gamers 8 events, and also I have won a few Comic-Con titles, one Comic-Con title, and one Raids title over my time in South Africa. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you so much, Ansel. It's again, it's really a privilege having you here, and I think we will be talking more and more about your prices and about the things that we have. And I hope that the footage that will be put at the same time as your talk will prove that that your cosplays are amazing and that you deserve all those awards. Fred Wolf, it's your time to present yourself and talk about you.
Hi, I'm Fred Wolf from Mauritius. I have started cosplaying about 12 years ago, and it was just like a hobby at the beginning. And through the years, it just kept on growing as a passion, turned into a passion. And I started doing contests here. I became the champion here for 3 years in a row, moved to going overseas to do contests overseas. The first one was in South Africa, Comic-Con South Africa, for the first 2 years actually. And then I turned cosplay into my full-time job. It's been almost 4.5 years now. And now my goal is to just go around the world, judge contests, be a guest, and share my passion for cosplay with everyone and help the whole community around the world anywhere I can.
Amazing goals. Thank you very much. Can you, before going to the second questions, I'm going back to Ansel. Can you talk to us about one of your, let's say, one of your best cosplays, and what was the challenges of that cosplays?
I think I'll always refer back to this cosplay because, and I think everybody can relate, it was during the time of COVID where we had a lot of time on our hands. So I decided to make a cosplay that I really wanted to do for a very long time, which was Katen Kyokotsu from Bleach. And and that's the one that I ended up entering into Comic-Con in the sewing division, and that's the one that I placed with. I think the most challenging thing for her costume was, the drill curls, the crazy floating hair.
Yes, very
just
big.
Has no logic.
Very big.
Yeah. And to bring that to life without it being uncomfortable, but also kind of give that same wow factor to, the cosplay, because that is one of her defining features, is this purple crazy curls. I think that was quite a big challenge, and it was quite new for me to do as well, because I've never done, what you call fixed wigs, structured wigs. So that was really my first time doing a proper structured wig. And I really enjoyed it. And since then, I actually now want to do more stuff like that and see how far that takes me.
Perfect. So how did you do for the wigs? Did you went to YouTube? Did you look for tutorials? Did you ask help for some cosplayers? What were the strategy for creating those big wigs?
So for me, the internet is my friend. Like, I do a lot of research in any cosplays that I make, and especially new skills that I'm trying to develop. I like to look at a lot of tutorials because at the end of the day, someone somewhere has done something similar, and even if you don't follow the tutorial to the T, you can kind of figure, take little bits and pieces from everything and then create your own technique. And I think that's where a lot of cosplayers in general also just kind of develop their own techniques as they go along and they stick with them. So for this wig, I just looked at a lot of different techniques, and I wanted to create something even more lightweight than what they were showing me. And I ended up splicing about 3 tutorials together. And thankfully it worked out.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Same question for Fred Wolf. One of your maybe hardest, most challenging, or best cosplay for you, if you need to choose one.
Sorry. So that's my Predator right here. That was a big challenge because back then it was for the first Comic-Con Africa, so my first real contest outside of the country, and they told me that I was going to compete against like some big names like Jinx Kitty Cosplay, now known as Jinxie Cosplay, and Kinpatsu back then, and my level wasn't there yet because the previous year I had worked on a classic Predator, was my first Predator, and I was like, okay, I need to make something that's very but has a lot more details and looks more impressive to be able to keep up with those other contestants who are like big names. So I did a bit of research and found this Predator, and I challenged myself for 2.5 months while working at a full-time job. Back in the day, I wasn't a full-time cosplayer yet, and there was a lot of DIY going on because back then I was way too stupid to think about looking for tutorials online, whatever. So it was I didn't think about that. I was just using YouTube to like listen to music and watch wrestling stuff. But I was able to pull it off, and I went there and won the Masters Division.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Right, that.
Yes. So this question is for the answer. So how was your experience at WCS exhibition and WCS Japan?
Well, Japan, obviously, I mean, it's Japan, right?
Yes.
So it's one of those, geeky dreams, not even just as a cosplayer, but just someone that's like such a fan of Japanese culture, food, anime,
yes,
all the things that encompass
also.
Yeah. So it's just like everything all at once. And now you get to go there and cosplay in front of like so many different people, and you meet all these cosplayers from around the world. And it was just such an incredible experience, and truly an honor really to go with my cosplay partner and just represent our country. I think people sometimes forget that part. Like, that's quite a stressful expectation from you because you are representing your country as a whole. So I think besides you wanting to do well as a person, you also have to kind of hold the title quite high for your country. And I took that very seriously. I mean, for me, that's really important that I represent my country in a very good and a positive way, and to show them that we here and we're capable, and that we make amazing cosplays, and that we, that we're on the map, that you can see us.
Yes.
And obviously, I mean, you were with me at the exhibition in Saudi Arabia. Both of you were. So you guys know the experience it was like. But I think personally for Fred and I, like, not to speak on your behalf, but I think we really enjoyed, meeting all the different people. I think it's always interesting to meet cosplayers from countries that you never expected maybe cosplayers to be, from. And I think it's a beautiful thing to see so many cosplayers come from all these different cultures, and maybe we can't even speak to each other because of a language barrier or anything, but there's one voice that's universal, and that we all love cosplay and everything that's encompassing that.
Yes.
Which I think is really cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for the WCS exhibition, how did you get invited?
Fred?
Me? Oh well.
Yes.
So we have qualifications, or we're not like in the yearly Japan.
Yes, like Morocco before the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was, well, fun story. Ansel's initial partner for Japan WCS wasn't able to make it, so we were trying to find a way to maybe get me to be her partner there. But since I'm from Mauritius, we couldn't get that done. But thankfully, Ansel found another partner to do the same character. But then the representative, Lace, showed my cosplays to the organizers, and we were like, okay, then we want that guy as well to be here, so just tell him to find a partner. And I asked one of my friends to join me here, and that's how I got invited.
I think we'll be going on the judging about WCS. You are you obviously both of you have already judged an event, already been judged in some events, a lot, and when judging like international competition like that, you feel the weight of the stress of sending people to Japan and to represent the country, or even a simple win. What truly makes the difference? Is it like, for you, it's obviously it's a personal opinion, is it the makeup, the costume, the stage presence, technical details, or I don't know, the power of very simple but an impactful cosplay on the stage?
Who would you like to answer first?
Oh, Ansel, or maybe Fred. Okay, no problem.
Let's go.
Ladies first, again. So I think there's a few factors that come into play here. I think it really depends on the type of competition. So if there is a like WCS, there's quite a big scoring on performance, and that like for WCS Japan, it's a 40-60 split. So it's quite a heavy split for generally most competitions that are more focused on the construction than anything else. So, in cases like where there is a performance factor, I will always lean towards performance, because for me, it's a very important part of cosplay. I think anyone can, really make a beautiful costume, but to be able to create the balance of building a cosplay and bringing it to life, I think is an art on its own. So for me, I think from a performance aspect, someone that can really bring a character to life and show their passion of their creation through performance art is important in one section. And then obviously for a construction based, whether it's sewing or crafting, I think understanding your abilities and using them in a strengthening way, a way that shows your skills and really highlights what you can do as a person, and the proportions in what you do. So I think to me is a deciding factor, because a lot of the times you'll see where people enter a competition and they'll take on different new things and techniques and stuff that they've never really tried before, and even though they get it done, the finishing is never quite up to standard because that was the first time that they tried it. So I think for me, finishing and proportions for construction-based competitions is very important. It's like my deciding factor.
Perfect. Yeah, I guess your arguments are valid, especially on the creating a lively character based on the original one. And I guess the performance is very, very important, I guess.
Very. That's crucial.
Fred, would you like to answer the question? The most important thing for you when judging a cosplay?
I think Ansel covered everything, so I just have to dig into that and further add some stuff to it. Well, costume-wise, it's like she said, you need to show your skills and really do the best at what you're good at, instead of trying new things last minute that might not work, and that's not going to play in your favor, unfortunately. So exactly like Ansel said, to me, something that really I really look forward to during those kind of judging is the performance part has to be something that sticks out of a lot, be picked as a winner, as like a team to go represent your country. Obviously, the costume is important, but the skit part is as important as the costume, if not for WCS, if not a little bit better, because you need to be able to tell a story, be in character, and do a performance that's not going to be forgotten. So it has to be something that has a little edge, a little like wow moment that's going to impress the judges as well as the audience and stick with people and give you that little edge that makes you win and gives you that opportunity to go and represent that country.
Maybe you can tell us what does it take to win? Like maybe in a world, Ansel, we're talking about the X factor, the rules, and the difficulties of making everything in a short time, obviously, and everything needs to be perfect for you. But at the end, you're a judge. You went to Japan. What does it take to win?
Oh, that is a question that everybody asks, isn't it?
Obviously.
I think that is like the what does life mean question in cosplay life, you know, like in cosplay world. Like, what does it all mean?
Exactly.
I think the X factor really is, it's really it. Let me try and explain this. A lot of people, and this is, I think, what people don't understand with these sort of competitions, especially people that are outsiders, when they see, you know, the winners being announced and they go, what? Why did that guy win? Or why did this girl win? And, you know, they never quite understand is that there is something beautiful in a balanced cosplay, right? So I'm talking, you're showing more than one skill that you have, you know, sewing, crafting, wig styling, maybe prosthetics, or, you know, you've created actual metal armor, like skills that are not necessarily part of the conventional list of cosplayers. You went a little bit above and beyond for what you needed to do to create your illusion. Because at the end of the day, cosplay is all about illusion. We're trying to look like someone else to the best of our abilities. If that two-dimensional character was pulled out of the show and brought to you in real life, what would that look like? What type of textures would there be? You know, like how would the wings float in real life? How would, you know, your hair defy gravity? Like you bringing this unnatural character into a real human life setting. So I think the moment you have the ability to do that in a beautifully crafted manner, and then on top of that, have a skit with amazing ingenuity, something that's different from the others. They tell the story in a different way or a different perspective. You know, where you, instead of interacting with the audience, you're interacting with the screen, and the screen is actually the real story, and you are the characters that are playing in the story. So it's like you can find different and weird and wonderful and interesting ways to rewrite the story that everybody knows and love. You know, like, you know, whether it's a game that you're trying to perform or an anime, there's always new and interesting ways to retell the story. And I think that's the beautiful thing about theater in general, is that you never have to stick to the norm. You can always recreate it without ruining the initial storyline that people have come to love. So I think if you are able to tick those boxes, and damn, even when I'm saying it out loud, it sounds like such a feat, right? Like it's a lot you need to do to win. But sometimes it is just that little extra spice, that little extra that makes you stand out from the rest of your competition. And even though that person is the winner or wins the competition, those other people are just as worthy. They were just a little bit beneath the winner, but they are just as worthy of winning. It's hard as a judge to pick someone sometimes because you feel like everybody should win. You know, like, oh, he was so good because A, B, C, and she was amazing because X, Y, Z. But at the end of the day, you know, there's that little X factor that just elevates that person to the top.
Like, I would ask the same question to Fred Wolf again. What does it take to win? What's the real deal of winning?
Again, Ansel has said everything, so I just need to find something to add. To me, it would be, what also works as an advice is when you're working on the costume, you need to already think about the skit, the performance that you're going to do, because that is very important. Because you asked earlier, what happens if it breaks or falls off during a performance? You lose marks, because that's not supposed to happen. So one thing that will make sure you get as much marks as you can is your cosplay staying in good shape while you're performing. Whether it's a fight, a stunt, jumping, rolling around, you need to make sure that your cosplay is going to survive all that action and not break in mid-performance. So that is a very important thing, and that's something that also adds to the X factor. It's like performing something that looks incredible, and your costume and props are able to hold on to that and hold up and not break off completely, or at all. I mean.
So, but like again, you do actually think about actions when you create your cosplay, obviously, Fred, because I think Predator and
yeah. I mean, from the very beginning, as you're picking the cosplay you're gonna make, you need to think about what kind of performance you're gonna make. That is very important, because a lot of cosplayers, and I've seen that a lot, especially here, they would work on their cosplays for months, and they will wait until the last week or the last few days to prepare a skit, and then a lot of things happen on stage. Wigs falling off, I've seen that.
Obviously.
Armors breaking, pads falling, I've seen that a lot of times. Or even the acting is not on point because they didn't put as much work in the performance as they should have. They put most of the work in the costumes and props, and unfortunately it doesn't work end of the day while you're on stage. The judges will see that, sometimes the audience can see that. So I'd say it's as important to work on your performance as it is to work on your cosplay.
Yes.
Because these two together are gonna give you a better chance at winning.
Obviously.
Not one or
You have to be on the same page with your partner. And it's really important because people have different, ways of the ninja, I guess. They live their cosplay lives very differently. Like what's important to you in terms of finishing might not be as important to the next person. As long as the cosplay is done, they're happy. Where I'm quite, very detail oriented. So I get a little bit weird if I don't feel like the finishing's on point. And I know that Fred is very similar in that sense. Like we both are very detail oriented cosplayers, so we want that extra effect, that down to the weathering of the seams and the giving it just that extra pop to our costumes is really vital to us. Otherwise we feel quite flat. So I think having a cosplay partner that is really on the same level as you in terms of performance and construction, it is hard. But I think also in the same breath, you're saying that doing a solo performance is easier, not always, because
obviously
you are the sole reliant.
Yes.
Yeah,
on
you are
yourself.
solely reliant, and yes, and also your performance choices are kind of limited, because you have to do a monologue. You can't do a fight scene because who are you gonna fight, So it's you have to be very clever with your choices and how you're gonna tell a storyline, and therefore be very clever with your cosplay choices. That's good for a solo performance, where you can then choose in a duo aspect a cosplay that's good for two characters to interact, and you can build a really strong storyline. So it's just really about doing your homework and really think about what's interesting from a construction perspective, but also, like Fred said, you have to immediately from the beginning think what is good for a performance aspect.
Yes. Obviously, Fred, you do also try to choose a good partner. Who was your partner when you went to the exhibition in Saudi Arabia?
Oh yeah, first I'll start with choosing the right partner is very, very important. So you need to sit and discuss the whole thing from the get-go and make sure you're aligned on the same things, that you have the same goals and the same vision of what you want to do with the cosplays you're going to bring to such a big contest. And to answer your question, my partner was a friend of mine, Kiki. So it was a bit of a rush, actually. And we didn't have that chemistry really. So she wasn't really into performing a lot. It was, I think, her second performance in years. And, well, tried to make it work as much as we could. didn't work perfectly. There were some issues on stage during the skit. Maybe some people saw that, or sometimes people are not going to notice, but we know that we screwed up at some point. But also, there's something that Ansel always says, like practice, and then practice more, something like that. Am I right? And
Yes,
exactly.
We didn't get enough time to do that. But yeah, I mean, we know where we screwed up during our skits, but I don't know if people followed up on it. There were some sound cues that weren't on point, some little issues here and there, but that's all because of lack of proper preparations and enough practice beforehand. And yeah.
Thank you for those precious details.
So to end this interview, we need one advice for African cosplayers from north to south.
Okay. Do you want to go? You can go first.
Yeah, go for it, Fred. Yeah, one
Okay,
advice for.
Okay, it's gonna be split in two though. So I would say, build a passion for it, have a passion for it, embrace it, and work hard. Those two things work together. Can't be separated. Like, you can't achieve something that's gonna be worth winning a competition if you don't have a passion for what you're doing. So make sure you work on like developing that passion as much as possible for cosplay, and then work as hard as you can for the contest.
Thank you.
That's right.
I think I'm gonna give you just a piece of advice for WCS specifically, because I think when I went to Japan, I was like not prepared. Is actually a few small things, but WCS. This is a nutshell one. Pack hangers for your costumes. It's very important.
Really?
Okay? You're not going to have enough hangers. Costume garment bags, put it in garment bags. 2, put your things in a container or a crate that is easily moved around with a handle, wheels, because you're going to have to move a lot.
Okay.
Your costumes have to move from your hotel to the venue, back to the hotel. It's crazy, it's rushed, and you need to be able to put it into one container and send it off. Pack a lot of tape, a lot of glue, paint. You're gonna save yourself and so many other cosplayers at that event. Trust me. I had little side story, but I had my main prop for WCS Japan broke, and I needed some sort of wire, or my clasp for my necklace broke, and I need some sort of wire to create like an S hook, because the necklace needed to come loose on stage, and it broke during our practice, our rehearsal run. So we're talking a few hours before the actual event. And Saudi Arabia, bless these people, they pulled the wire out of their suitcase. Vega Cosplay broke his own suitcase at the event.
Oh, wow.
To create me an S hook to fix the necklace off my prop.
We salute this guy. We salute this guy right now.
What a legend. What an absolute legend. He saved us so much. So tape, what do you call it? What are those things that you pull tight?
Rope?
Zippers.
The plastic thing that you hook through your pull, guys. English has left me. Zip ties.
Zip
yes.
ties. Zip. Oh,
Safety.
really?
Yeah.
Really? Zip ties.
Dude.
Okay.
Zip ties. Pack zip ties, please. And then lastly, there is a field about 2 blocks away from the hotel, if it's the same hotel, which it probably will be. It's a huge field close to the museum. Go in the evenings and practice your skit there. It is the best spot to go and practice. You can literally markate your stage size onto the sand, and it's beautifully and big and spacious. Play your sound on your phone. That's what we did. And practice until you're blue in the face.
Thank you. thank
And
you
then-
for.
And you can walk on the way home and grab yourself a drink from the shop. That's the best.
Thank you for your advice. I think there is a number of Moroccan cosplayers who would love to thank you for everything you said. Thank you, Enzo. Thank you, Fred
Absolutely.
Wolf. Thank you, Tihal, for this
Thank you,
amazing
guys.
hour.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck
you.
for your
Thank
next
you, Emily.
project. We will be following you closely, and thank you again. Very, very a lot of thanks for everything you said to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good luck, Morocco.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
be
you.
cheering
Bye.
for you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.